The method I use for my work with the colored porcelain has a lot to do with technique of nerikome. Nerikome is a technique in clay in which you layer different colored clay and then you cut them cross section. Okay, I'm Sunyong Chung and I work with the colored porcelain, and I make dishes and tiles and carve porcelain, anything you want to do with porcelain. I began with making tiny pictures, and meaning I construct a roll like a sushi roll, and then I cut them cross section, except that it's not the sushi when you cut, but it's a tiny pictures. It's inside that sushi roll there. My inspiration comes from travels and art that I have learned from school, and just natural world, just my garden, flowers. Garden is, it's not just a place for me to look and, you know, see things that are pretty. For me, garden is my source for my work, and I like seeing all the flowers in different stages, from very little to even after it's dead. So I like cutting things and dissecting and stretching and reducing and just play with it. And that's the real inspiration. I used to make all the pots hump mold, but that took a long time, and also I think this just makes better pot. So what I do is I make the first model of a dinner plate, and then I take a mold, I make a mold like this. So this is two-part mold where you put the clay in here and it squishes the clay out. Inside the mold is air hose that's embedded inside this plaster, which allows the air to come in through the air hole, and air lifts the clay out of the mold. To find something each day that inspires you, whatever it is, and make an impression in your brain and create something each day. Create something, whether it's a sketch, but produce. You know, it doesn't do much good to stay in your head. You have to, even if it's just a little note, you know, you create something each and every day. That's my advice. And art, in a way, is a porthole, you know, to my life. For me, anyway, I look at life through this tiny little hole of art, and that's how I enter. And then it expands from that. My art really is about just the moment before you eat. You look at your dishes and you make you happy.
So we actually take an unfired greenware plate, and then we cover it with a glaze, and after it's been fired, you can see there's a big difference. These are the kilns. Sunyong's got 3 nice big kilns, and little pieces like this we call kiln furniture, because every time you load the kiln there's layers, and the layers are made with a big kiln shelf. And so each shelf is layered according to the height, and you adjust the height with different pieces of kiln furniture. And right now, this next load are cups. So this is a nice mazarine blue, and it's the true color. And this plate here happens to be either delphinium blue or mazarine blue. I'm not sure. It's either a sky blue or a deep blue like this. And so once you've glazed it, then it's sealed. And I think it's one of the best times. It's the most refreshing moment in a potter's work is to open the kiln, because everything is glistening and it's like jewels. And if you've done good work, then it really, this is the time you get to see all your hard work. So if each piece takes, you know, many, many steps, then when you open the kiln and everything looks so nice and shiny and new, then, you know, you've done well by the clay and the pieces. They seem to show it, you know.
At the end, I think being an artist and really staying true to my passion has longevity as a career. I am not going to retire, and neither is my husband. We're not going to retire. We'll be making art until the day that we cannot anymore.